Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 podcast, where we're busy having fun down here on Level 1. And so is Jasper Kitty, because he is in full force today on the stream. Do not attack my bottle cap, and he attacks my bottle cap. Here he is. Say hello to Jasper Kitty, everybody. Jasper, look at the camera. Look up. Jasper, look up. He won't look up. All right, let's put him down. Welcome to the show, everyone. Today is my final consecutive streaming day of the week. It is Tuesday, the 20th of June, 2023, and of course, I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to the show. An exciting day today, because, number one, today I'm going to be focusing in on a character who I've done the best with in Street Fighter 6, Blanca, and I'm officially naming today's first stream the Blanca Festival. I'm excited to see how we can do. I actually studied up on some videos last night in order to try to improve my gameplay and techniques and see if I can apply some new things to today's gameplay session, which would be fun. And I hope that it goes well. He's the character I've done the best with overall. We'll actually talk about that this morning as we review my Week 3 stats. That's right. It's been about 3 weeks playing Street Fighter 6, which really means about 13 days of playing Street Fighter 6 with the breaks in between and everything. And I like to let everyone know exactly what's going on with that. After last night's session of Marisa, which actually went really well, I was very pleased that I'm still doing well with Marisa. It means that I essentially have at least 2 characters that I'm doing decently with and I can continue to improve with. So that's a good thing, right? But also today, we're going to have some Diablo 4 returning to the late stream, and I apologize to everyone this week. I know we didn't get enough Zelda or Diablo. This already was a short week, only being a 5-day stream week, but then losing my internet for that day on the weekend really screwed everything up, and the whole schedule's been thrown into disarray, and I apologize for that. Hopefully things will get back to normal next week. Of course, next week, we've got a hot new release. That's right. When I come back from my break on Thursday, it's the premiere of Final Fantasy 16. So yeah, we've got a lot going on right now. And I want to say thank you again for another great streaming week and all of your support this week, despite the fact that we did have all these tech difficulties and things going on. Thanks for understanding about my stress over the weekend. I really appreciate everyone coming out and chilling with me every single day, no matter what I'm playing. And of course, this has been a grand return to the world of Street Fighter with Street Fighter 6. Now, almost 3 weeks into the game, I'm really liking it. I mean, to pull no punches, it's not perfect. All right? There's definitely things about the game that I feel there's room for improvement. They definitely made a certain amount of characters, like 5 or 6 characters, play almost the same, and I feel, have a really easy mode way to play them, which everyone's doing at the platinum level where I am, and it essentially makes the online play not as fun because you don't see enough variety, okay? At the same time, this is the absolute best online experience that I've had with a fighting game ever. Like, every day when I play, maybe we have one laggy match. And I mean that. Like, one laggy match the entirety of a session is unprecedented. We've always had issues with online lagging connections, and we're not having that with Street Fighter 6. And that's amazing because it means that I can actually play the game and have fun and enjoy and improve and not have to worry about half my session is dropped matches and laggy gameplay and a bunch of nonsense. You can actually apply yourself to the game and learn whenever you're playing. And that's good. That's very, very good. So they've learned their lessons for sure. And I've had a great time with the game so far. I'm looking forward to more. I didn't know at first how you guys were going to, accept it. But here's the thing. Starting this Thursday, we have our first new release since the release of Street Fighter 6, right? And that's, well, I guess you could argue Diablo, but everyone knew that Diablo wasn't going to be a humongous thing for me anyway, right? Like, we knew it was going to be more of a chill playthrough. But Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a giant one. People want to see me play it. It's a new iteration in the ongoing series. It's very different, supposedly, from the previous iterations. Apparently, it's an actually finished game, unlike Final Fantasy 15. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I have not spoiled myself whatsoever on this game. Like, I have not watched any story trailers. I have not watched any gameplay from, like, the last year. Like, I am 100% going into this cold turkey on Thursday to see what it's like, and we're playing it all day long. So I'm very excited for that, and I hope that it is good, because ideally, you want balance and variety. If I'm playing Final Fantasy one day and Street Fighter the next day, and we can alternate that back and forth on the daytime streams, that would be the ideal, I feel. So let's see what happens with Final Fantasy on Thursday, and hope for the best. Let's hope it's a great game, and hope that, it works out not only for me as a game I'm playing, but for you as a viewer. It's been a while, quite a while, since a mainstream Final Fantasy game has been out, and I've played one. So I'm excited for this, okay? So, good stuff all around. I think what we should do, before we get into the schedule for the week coming, what we'll do is we'll talk a little bit of an update here about how I've been doing in Street Fighter 6. Then we'll do the schedule. Then we're going to do game news, because yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we actually have game news to discuss. There's a few news stories I'd like to cover for you. And I know it's been a while because, we had all those digital events and everything last week. And those events basically created the game news. And after them, there really was nothing to talk about. Well, we finally got some stories to discuss this morning. And then after that, we will do shout-outs and Q&A. A quick reminder, with the format of my podcast, any contributions that come in are greatly appreciated. That's how I make my living here on YouTube, is crowdfunding contributions during my live streams, such as super chats or memberships or gifted memberships for the community or tips. But we hold those off till the end of the podcast, and then I have a big shout-out grouping at the end of the show, so that basically we can get it all out of the way and have Q&A and everything together, and it doesn't break up my topics. I have a lot of things I'd like to discuss on the show, and it makes more sense for me to talk about those and get them out of the way before we get to shout-outs, okay? That way I don't lose my train of thought as well. So, all right, so let's get caught up here with Street Fighter 6, all right? This week, what happened with my gameplay of Street Fighter 6, because now, a streaming week has passed. Well, this week on Friday, I had a whole day of Street Fighter 6, and it was split between Blanca and Lily, all right? And those sessions went really, really well. If you take a look overall, my first session with Blanca went 20 wins and 14 losses. My second session went 20 wins and 4 losses. So overall, I was dominating with Blanca on Friday, and Blanca currently is my winningest character, with a 64% win rate, okay, overall. Over 100 wins I've gotten with Blanca so far. Lily, I had 2 sessions, 23 wins and 13 losses, then 16 wins, 11 losses. Still winning record, although not as good as Blanca. She's at 61% win rate, okay? And by the way, Blanca's currently my highest ranked, Platinum 3-star. Lily's currently Platinum 2-star. Now, I did play a lot with Dalsim over the weekend, trying to learn him all day Sunday. It didn't go that well, because I really do feel that sadly Dalsim is at a disadvantage compared to the rest of the cast, and has a lot of issues against that character archetype that I just previously mentioned. Characters that, from mid-range, are fast, have very easy combos with dash cancels that can lead to ginormous damage if they do punishes or cancel into a level 3 super. Characters that can rush you down and lock you in the corner, and Dalsim doesn't have many tools to get out of the corner. It seems like if Dalsim plays a perfect game and keeps people away, he does well. The moment someone gets in on him, he really has nothing. And that kind of sucks, and I feel like maybe he is at a huge disadvantage because of that. So, overall with Dalsim, I'm still got a winning record, but I lost a lot. Like, I had 31 wins and 27 losses my first session, and then 29 wins, 31 losses. I lost more than I won that second session. But I've still had a 53% win rate with him overall. Now, Marisa, I also played with this week. And Marisa, I played yesterday's night stream and did really well. Listen to this, 37 wins, 19 losses. So basically, I won twice as much as that I lost. That's really good. It was a 66% win rate, and I've actually got her up now to Platinum 2-star. Overall, 64% win rate with her, 109 wins, 61 losses. So if you compare, Blanca and Marisa for me are pretty much identical in performance. They are. They both have over 100 wins and only about maybe 50 to 60 losses. So around 64, 65% win rate for each. So those are my two good characters right now that I'm doing the best with. I didn't play with anyone else. No Zangief, no JP, no Honda, no DJ, no Beno, and no new characters this week. But that will change next week. Because I know if I just keep using the same characters every week, people will get bored. So next week, I will be using one new character on Friday, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So don't worry. We'll get to the schedule, and we'll talk about the schedule coming this week. New character coming on Friday. Okay? Cool. So overall, where are we in Street Fighter 6? 584 wins, 456 losses, 56% win rate. Still in the black, still in the green, and still climbing towards my 1,000th win. I told you, this is the road to 1,000 wins, and I'm very excited for that. I wonder where we're going to hit it again. If I play as much as I've been playing, it would be soon. The thing is, now we're going to actually scale back Street Fighter a bit, because I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 16 and balancing that with Street Fighter, so it won't be at every day. So definitely, it's going to slow down a bit, okay? So, we'll see what happens, all right? By the way, I'm going to get rid of this troll. I've had enough of this nonsense. Really, these people come to my chat, and they're going to try to derail during the podcast. No, they're not. I'm just going to immediately get rid of them. And don't act, and I mean this, I'm going to say this right now. If you see me moderating the chat, oh, what was that about? Just don't even ask. Just ignore it. I'm not going to sit here and explain to you who these idiots are coming in with dumb memes and trying to derail the stream. I'm just going to keep going my merry way. You know, don't even bother wasting time asking about their idiocy, okay? Okay. So far, so good in Street Fighter 6. My best characters undoubtedly are Blanca and Marisa. Today, this main gameplay stream will be the Blanca Festival. 3 hours of Blanca multiplayer here on DSPGaming. That's right, 3 straight hours of Blanca ranked matches. Yes, it's going to be sweaty. Yes, it's going to be rage-inducing. But there's going to be adrenaline pumping. There's going to be good competition. And I hope, obviously, good performance. Now, I watched some videos last night. I watched 3 different Blancas, okay? And I learned some interesting things about his combo ability. I already know some good combos with him, but I actually learned about some of his better mid-range combos, which is always good, and some good pokes, and a little bit of tricks. The one thing that I still don't know how to do is to combo perfectly into his level 2 super into the air juggle with the air ball. I can get like 1 or 2 hits, and then I whiff. It looks like everyone is doing that perfectly. And that sucks because I guess what they did, they labbed it. They probably went into this training mode and they mastered that combo, and I haven't done that yet. Maybe I should go into training mode very briefly and try to figure that out before we go online today. Because I'll try 1 or 2 different combos, I think, to see how they go. But in general, I did learn a bit, and there's a couple different strategies and things I will try to apply today to see how it goes. Blanca is the master of options. Like, I mean that. Like, from all these different setups and things, he can mix up and he can have, you know, because of his ranges with his Blanca balls, and his incredible amount of maneuverability compared to the rest of the cast. You know, his hop, dash cancels, and they look the same, so you can't really tell what he's doing. He's got a lot of tricks and a lot of mix-ups and a lot of fun stuff. The funny part is when you watch high-level Blanca, okay, there's certain moves he never uses. Seriously, high-level Blanca almost never uses Blanca-chan. Maybe every once in a blue moon for a mix-up, but almost never. High-level Blanca never uses the command throw. Not once. Because I guess they feel it's too much of a risk. If he gets blocked, he's screwed. But, you know, it's all about poking. It's all about getting one hit into either the hop or the dash cancel and mixing up into a combo or a throw. It's all about maximum potential for counter hits. You know, when someone makes a mistake, do a giant punish as a result of that mistake. And it's all about kind of like corner tricks. Getting them in the corner, and they don't know how to get out of the corner now because he's got a lot of options to keep you in the corner. You can't really jump out of the corner when Blanca's got you in there because he's got multiple up balls he can use. If he does level 2 super, he can keep doing balls back and forth for multiple hits that are tricky. He's got some interesting stuff, let's put it that way. And I feel like now he's strong, but long-term, will Blanca be strong? I don't know. He has a lot of tools. The question is, are they all gimmicks, and will people find ways around them, right? I am happy that he does truly have a reversal with the overdrive up ball, but at the same time, it only hits certain ways. It doesn't hit from certain angles, which does give him a weakness. So he's better than, say, a character that I've been using like Dalsim or whatever that gets stuck. He doesn't really get stuck, and he has high maneuverability. I think that's why I've been doing so well with him. So let's see what happens today. I hope I do better, and I hope that some of the things I saw online will apply to today, and we'll be able to do some giant combos and things. It should be pretty fun, and hopefully we get that record up. I want to get a character, legitimately, say, to like Diamond, but I don't know if it would take so much gameplay. I mean, I played entire sessions 3+ hours and barely gained 1 star in the game, even after winning more than losing. And it's like, the climb is very slow in this game. It really is. And that's what I mean. You see these people who are in Diamond and Master, they've literally been playing this game since the day it came out 3 weeks ago, non-stop with one character. And they're sitting there in Master rank because of it. Like, as a content creator, that would have put everyone to sleep. You know what I mean? So all I can do is play as hard as I can with the time I have. The other funny part is when you watch this high-level gameplay of like Master and Diamond, no one, and I mean this, absolutely no one is doing the unsafe, ridiculous moves that I see every day online. No one is doing Hail Mary level 3 supers. No one is doing Hail Mary OD dragon punches through everything to attempt to see if they hit. No one is doing drive impact, drive impact, drive impact, drive impact, drive impact, because that's scrubby gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the equivalent of in Street Fighter 4. When in doubt, random super come out. Remember that saying I used to use? This is what people used to always do. Wake up Ultra, wake up, always focus attack for no reason, That's how they used to do it back then. And the thing is, I'm playing at a level where I'm thinking, who am I going to do my next setup? What's my next mix-up? They're thinking spam, spam, spam. And half the time the spam beats what I'm doing because I'm not thinking they're just going to spam like an idiot. And they do. At the level I'm at, that's what we're facing. And the other problem is we're only seeing maybe 5 or 6 characters, right? Like, I wish that we could see big variety. I'd love to fight more Dalsims. I'd love to fight more JPs. I'd love to fight a Guile or I'm trying to think of the most unused characters in the game. There's like 6 or 7 characters that never get used. Almost never. It's a big rarity, right? Who do we see all the time? Cammy, Jury, Ken, oh my god, Chun-Li, DJ, right? Those 5 are huge. Usually it's these characters who from mid-range, everything is pretty safe. They can keep mashing, jab, and shit, and just dash cancel into everything that's safe, and they just do it over and over, and it's just like, it's stupid. It's annoying. It's not fun to see the same character over and over, especially when every person plays them the same, Like, I want more variety. Lily, we almost never see Lily. Almost never see Lily at all, right? Like, that's an incredible rarity to see Lily implemented in this game. So, I guess we'll see what happens. But today, 3 hours of Blanca. I'm excited. I hope you'll join me. I hope, obviously, you'll support the stream if you can. This is my last kind of major consecutive Street Fighter stream. Now it's going to be broken up between a balance of Street Fighter and Final Fantasy 16 starting on Thursday. Okay. So that's the first stream today. Later tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it is indeed the return of Diablo 4. Last time we played Diablo 4, we had great strides and progress. We actually finished Act 1, headed into Act 2. The story is actually getting pretty interesting. And we had a lot of fun with new enemy types. The goat men were invading in the town, remember that, and stuff like that. And then we ran out of time, and now it's been a week and we haven't been able to play. And that sucks because when you get momentum in a game and you can't play it for a while, it kills the momentum. I hope you guys will join me for Diablo 4 tonight. It should be chill fun. Hopefully we'll make progress. Hopefully we'll continue on with the advancement of the plot. Everyone says I should keep pushing the plot nonstop till like the end of Act 3. Because I guess the game, I think, has 4 or 5 acts. Everyone says around then is when the game really opens up and has different options that weren't available before then. So it makes sense to get to that point before you start taking your time with the game. So we will focus in on Diablo tonight and progress in the story and see how far we can get. Okay. Now, I'm off tomorrow. I hope you all have a good day. My apologies that, number 1, this was only a 5-day streaming week, and number 2, I lost a streaming day in the middle of the streaming week because I had no internet, all right? Obviously, that was not intended. Yes, I know it was basically like 2 whole missing streams, and I'm sorry about that. Next week, we're making up for it with a 7-day streaming week. I will be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 7 straight days of streaming goodness here on DSP Gaming and, of course, also DSP Reacts. All right? It's good stuff. So, when I come back on Thursday, it's the premiere of Final Fantasy 16. In fact, I'll be buying the game tonight on PS5 and preloading it all day long. First and second stream is going to be Final Fantasy 16 on Thursday, all right? So, I'm excited to see the beginning of the day, or the beginning of the game, I should say. A lot of people are saying the intro to the game is around 2 hours long, so it makes sense to do a full day, so that way we can still get a good tear into the main game to see what it's like. Again, this is me getting an honest first-time experience hands-on with the game. I didn't play the demo. I didn't spoil myself on it. It's just 1,000,000% first experience, and I'm curious to see what the game is going to be like. You know, it's been a while. Final Fantasy V was a long time ago, right? Seriously. Okay. Friday, I'm deeming Street Fighter Friday. That's right, because guess what? We're playing Street Fighter 6 all day long on Friday, and I'm going to use a new fighter. Now, what new fighter? That I don't know, because there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of fighters in this game I have not yet used, and I don't know who to use. I could maybe go back to Honda and try to relearn Honda, because Honda I really didn't learn at all. I just messed around with on day one, didn't know what I was doing. So now maybe I could go back and try to learn some tech and some combos. Or maybe I could use one of these mid-screen rushdown characters like Cammy or Ken. Or maybe Guile. You know, I'm thinking one of those characters, perhaps, is a character that I want to use. All right? I don't know. I have to think about it. I don't know who I want to use yet, but it's going to be a character I've not been using recently. It's either going to be a character maybe I only used once at the beginning of the game, or a brand new character I've never touched before. All right? So what I'll do is essentially I will try to practice with that character a little bit, and then we'll go online probably with casual play till I get my footing, and then we'll probably go into ranked play. Now, I'm playing Street Fighter 6 all day long, so if we're feeling the groove of whatever character I play on the first stream, we could even do a late stream of the same character and just play them all day long. Or maybe we could do an early stream that's a new character, and if I feel like I've had enough of that new character, then on the late stream we can go back to more familiar characters. Maybe we'll go back to Zangief. Maybe we'll go back to Lily, who I wouldn't have played in a bit, right? We'll see. Okay? So, let's think about it. Give me your opinions. Give me your feedback. I'd like to know who you'd like to see me use on Friday on that main stream. We have a few days to figure it out. You know, we got today, Wednesday, and Thursday before Friday comes, and we'll talk about it over the next few days and try to see what you guys want. Try to field opinions on it, okay? Saturday is React Day, so it's DSP versus the Internet React show over on DSP Reacts. The late stream on Saturday will be the continuation of Zelda. Then on Sunday, it'll be more Final Fantasy 16, and the night stream will be Diablo. But remember, I'm still here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's Street Fighter 6 on Monday with Zelda, then it's Final Fantasy on Tuesday with Diablo, and then it's more Street Fighter on Wednesday with whatever. Okay? So this is a very lengthy week, and we're going to have good progress in all the games I'm playing, a good amount of gameplay of Final Fantasy 16 for the premiere week, a good amount of Street Fighter gameplay, and yes, good progress in both Diablo and Zelda, so this will be a very balanced week of everything. Now, please, Lord, I implore you, great master of existence, please let my internet work this week, and please let no issues happen, because, man, it threw me for a loop this week, and I only feel like maybe today am I even feeling more like normal and relaxed. Seriously, like yesterday was a good day. I had a podcast, we had Zelda, and we got Marisa gameplay in, and it was good. Today I'm like, my final streaming day of the week. I'm going to play with Blanca, who I've been doing good with. I'm going to have nice Diablo tonight. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling like more, I'm calmed down after the nonsense of the weekend. And so I'm happy about that, and I hope you guys are too. But I just want a normal week next week. Really. I want a nice normal week with no bullshit. So that would be nice, okay? Plus, we're heading to the end of June, which is actually, we're at the end of the month. We're almost to my my big event coming up in July and everything. I guess we should talk about that. So a couple of things coming up. First of all, tonight, after my late stream of Diablo, I'm going to review Avatar: The Way of Water for DSP Reacts. So if you were interested in my opinion on the sequel to Avatar, my opinion will be coming out tonight on that channel. Please give it a look. I watched the movie over the course of this week, finally finished it, and now I'd like to give my full opinion on it over on DSP Reacts. In a nutshell, some of it was good and some of it was really boring. It was a mix for me. Like, some stuff I was like, oh, this is really neat, and I'm interested, I'm engaged, and then I wanted to go to sleep. It was like, but by the way, made the most money of any movie, like, ever. It's like, why? I'm still at a loss of why so many people are going to see this fucking thing. Anyway, so that's tonight, okay? Next week, I have options because my fans have been very nice to me and very generous, and I've had a couple different movies donated to me digitally, and it's movies you guys want to see, but I don't really want to hear my opinions on, I should say, but I don't want to spoil yet. Basically, both of these movies are movies that recently you guys asked me if I would watch and review, and I now have them both digitally, and I can watch them both at my own leisure and review them for you guys. So one of those will be reviewed next week for DSP Reacts, and then another one will probably be reviewed the week after. So this is good. I have good stuff coming up, variety of stuff for DSP Reacts, rather than just the weekly clip show. So that's excellent to have variety of content over there. I have a new YouTube short coming up. It's already ready to go, but honestly, with all the nonsense that happened this week, I kind of held it back. I think I'll probably upload it to go live probably on Thursday morning. So that'll be good to have a new YouTube short here for the channel. I might have more YouTube shorts for the React channel depending on what happens. We'll see what happens there because I have someone who's working on those for me, but I haven't heard from them in a few days. So we'll see what happens there. And, of course, we are building up to the big event. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up on Sunday, July 2nd. It's getting close. If you guys didn't know, only a couple weeks away. It's DSP's DSP. That stands for Digital Summer Party. It will be a festive party vibe all day long and a marathon stream where I'll be doing such a cool variety of stuff, including the following. Some festive special fun just for that day. As you'll see, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but there'll be some interesting stuff going on. In addition, we're going to go through the entire gaming schedule for the rest of the year. We're going to update all the game release dates that just came out during all these digital events and populate the calendar so you guys know exactly what games I'm most interested in. And sadly, there's going to have to be some games we have to skip. The months of September and October are now so jam-packed with games, there's no way I could possibly play them all. So what we're going to do is rank and prioritize what games you want to see me play at launch and what ones can maybe be waiting for later, okay? In addition to that, we are going to have some fun gameplay, probably some Street Fighter 6 gameplay during that day for variety. In addition to that, there's going to be tier maker fun, where we're going to do probably at least one, if not two, tier maker rankings. One of them I'd definitely like to be like American Fair Food, but maybe another one could be Street Fighter characters, which we were going to do last event and we didn't get to. So that would be pretty fun. In addition to all of that, yes, I will be drinking. If we get big contributions during that stream, I'll probably take like a shot of something and debating what to get. I was leaning towards whiskey because that's more like a, you could get like American whiskey or something, but I don't know. I'm thinking about what to get for the event. I haven't had whiskey in a long time. It might hit me pretty hard. I couldn't even remember the last time I had whiskey. It was probably years ago. And the problem with whiskey and me is if I have too much, it actually does make me feel like kind of sick. It makes me get like a hangover. So I don't know if I really want to drink whiskey all day. Maybe if I mix it up, I do multiple things. I don't know. I have to think about it. It's still a couple weeks away. I haven't looked yet. But we'll do that. And then my wife is going to be making multiple things for the event. She's already kind of focused in on what she wants to do. She just hasn't found like recipes yet, but she knows what she wants to make. I can tell you this. One thing will be kind of a snack / entree. One thing will be a very, very decadent gourmet side, and one thing will be a dessert. So we're going to have 3 different American summertime recipes that we'll be trying out during the course of the event. Yes, you can call it a mukbang, you can call it a feasting with Phil, you can call it whatever the hell you want, but I'll be doing those at multiple times during the event as well. Okay? So it should be pretty exciting. And yes, because Drew says, I hope that the food doesn't get fumbled this time. Well, last time around, she was doing recipes out of the Street Fighter cookbook. And let's be honest, hit or miss. I think one of the things she did was really good, those fish balls. But then the other one, she couldn't get the dough to go right because the recipe told her to basically try to make dim sum in a frying pan, which you can't fucking do. You need to have like a steamer or whatever. So it didn't come out right, right? So it is what it is. This time it's American fare. It should come out right, all right? All right, so good stuff coming. That's July 2nd, a Sunday. Please mark your calendars. I hope you can be here if you can. It should be a great way to start the summertime vibes here on DSP Gaming and get a good head start in on all of the fun. All righty. That's really all I have to talk about. I don't want to go too crazy here today. So let us get to news, gaming news stories that I'd like to discuss this morning. All right? So, what an interesting variety of stuff is going on in the world of gaming. Let's talk about this, okay? Our first story of today is regarding last year's release, which I skipped at the time. Oh, I guess I should get rid of this picture. Sorry about that. The name of the game is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is a game made by Ubisoft that features the Rabbids from the Rayman franchise crossing over with Mario, and it is a turn-based strategy-style game, RPG. And it plays similar to XCOM, but it's a little bit easier than that. And I played the original one. There was one that was called Kingdom Battle. It came out in 2017, 2018, something like that. And that one, when it came out, was unique and interesting. It actually was an interesting game, especially for the earlier days of the Switch. And when I played it, I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of content. It had a lot of charm. But it was a very lengthy game. It took a lot of patience. It was very time-consuming. And quite frankly, it did drag on a lot. And as a game for a playthrough, a lot of people complained it was too long. And I specifically remember that the attention for that playthrough went from up here to like within like 2 weeks of me playing it because of the nature of the game that it was. Now, I did finish the whole game, but I remember by the end of the game, you know, a lot of people were skeptical about me ever playing a game like that again. So when the sequel came out last year, like 5 years later, a lot of people were like, well, will you play it? And I was like, I don't know. You know, the first playthrough didn't really work that well. It did all right, but a lot of people complained it was too long and didn't really, you know, it didn't really go with the kind of vibe that I do on my streams. So I held off. And if you remember, last year, the busy gaming season was so busy that you had to definitely pick and choose the games that you were going to play. There was no way that everyone could play everything. And if you remember, in a very short period of time, you had not only the Mario plus Rabbids game, but then you had Marvel Midnight Suns, which is exactly the same style of game, except it's with Marvel characters, right? So you had two of this style of RPG coming out within like a few weeks' time of each other, all at the same time as Call of Duty, at the same time as all the other high-profile releases were all releasing within like a 1 month window. So if you remember, I was very critical of this, and I said, I don't know what Ubisoft is thinking. Like, if this game came out at a different time of the year, like, if you remember, the original Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle did not come out during the fall gaming season. It actually had come out around, I want to say it was like, if anyone could look it up, but I distinctly remember it was like around late summer. So I had time to play it during the late summer, and I was trying to finish it when the new games were coming out in the fall. I think that was the timing it came out with. So at least then, by coming out at that time, you had more time to focus in on it, right? But it came out literally in the middle of the busy gaming season with all of the biggest game releases. What made you think people were going to play this game? Especially because of the style of game. This is not a mainstream Mario game. It's a spin-off game, right? And you can't just judge solely on the performance of the first one. The first one apparently sold pretty well. But again, it's a different climate 5 years ago. The Switch was new. People were buying every game for the Switch because they wanted to build up a library. It's very different, you know? So, why am I bringing all this up? Why am I talking about Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope? Well, because they interviewed Yves Guillemot. He is the CEO of Ubisoft. All right, we just saw him at Ubisoft Forward last week. And here's what he said. Listen to this. He feels that Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope released too soon. That they should have held out and released it for the company's next console. Here's some excerpts from his interview. I think it was a different issue with Mario, he said. We already released a Mario Rabbids game on Switch. By doing another, we had two similar experiences on one machine. On Nintendo, games like this never die. There's 25 Mario games currently on the Switch already. Nintendo has advised it's better to do one iteration on each machine. We were just a bit too early. We should have waited for the next console. He then added, because you could play a great game and we think it will last for 10 years, we update it for the new machine that will come in the future. So basically it's broken English because it's translated from French. While there are exceptions such as the Mario Galaxy games on Wii, Nintendo generally does not release two entries in any one Mario series on the same console. So for example, it usually has one Mario Kart or one 3D Mario game per system. So according to the CEO of Ubisoft, the reason that Mario plus Rabbids the reason that Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the sequel to Kingdom Battle, didn't do good or didn't sell well at all is because they put out two of the same franchise on the same console. They should have waited a few years for whatever the next new Nintendo console was and launched the new one on there. So I'm just going to, in general, what do you guys think about that comment? I'm curious. I want to field my audience's opinions on this before I give you mine. Do you guys agree with Mr. Guillemot that it was too soon for another Mario plus Rabbids game, that they shouldn't have released it on the Switch? Do you think this is the reason that the game failed? Red agrees. I should play it and see how it is, said Evil Ann. I wish I had time. Eternal Napalm says, I 100% bet Super Mario Odyssey's sequel will launch on the next Switch, the next successor on the new console. Let's see. No, they should have released it when no games were coming, like in March or April, says Radical Jaws. Amplatory says, I just think the genre of game is not for a lot of people. Anso Kamaru says, no, the mainstream normie audience just doesn't care about games like that. Trigger agrees, and Chang Forever agrees with Guillermo's comments. Okay? Expand Dong says the CEO is correct. Generally, this is how Nintendo operates outside of exceptions like Splatoon or Fire Emblem. Seems like they gave him advice and he refused to listen to it. Hobo X says, generally I do disagree. However, I think that this tactical style of game, tactical RPG like XCOM, which this game is more niche, so maybe it's more true in this case. Gaspavelli says, yeah, I think Guillermo should have not had it released in 2022. All right. Here's the thing. All right. I see Nintendo's point. I absolutely do. I get it. Every time there's a new console, you'll launch a new iteration of your distinct, unique IP, and it'll sell for the new console. Super Mario Odyssey, Zelda, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Kirby, Smash Brothers. I keep going because there's probably like 40 different Nintendo IPs, right? This is not a Nintendo IP. This is a crossover, but still, it's essentially a Nintendo IP with the Mario involvement. Do I believe that if a new Mario plus Rabbids game had released at the launch of the next Nintendo console that it would have sold well and or better? Absolutely, positively, yes. On that front, I absolutely agree with Mr. Guillemot. I do believe it would have done better. However, I'm sorry, I have to take a look at everything that I said last fall, and I have to say that these game companies, again, I say this all the time, have absolutely, positively, no self-awareness in the game space. They have this crazy tunnel vision where they actually believe that if they come out with a game that they feel is good, it will sell no matter what. This is absolutely positively incorrect, okay? During that busy game season of starting in September all the way through early December, all right? You're talking like a 3.5 month window, all right? Everyone tries to pump out their games during that time frame because number one, it's just known as the busy gaming season, and they feel that it's going to inflate sales. And number two, they're trying to get in for the holiday gaming season where they feel people will buy these games and give them as gifts at Christmas. So they're trying to get in on those inflated sales there as well, okay? But what's happening more and more and more in the last 5 years is that these games that are coming out during that season are failing. And the reason is because it's cannibalism. You cannot release 80% of the high-profile games in a year within a 3-month period. 80% within 1 quarter or 25% doesn't make sense. You need to space it out. You need to have time for these games to have word of mouth, to spread so that people know that they're good and that people will check them out, especially if it's a game like this. This is not Mario Odyssey. This is Mario plus Rabbids. It's a spin-off game. For people to know that it's good, they need to have time with it. What happened with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was, you're right, it was a game in the early days of Switch, and people were looking for games on the Switch to play. It was a Mario game, and there was only a few of them at the time, and it came out at a time when there wasn't a lot of other competition. So without a lot of competition, people were able to play it, and the people who played it said, wow, it's good, and then the word of mouth spread on social media, and everyone knew it was good, and people ran out and bought it after the fact. When Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope came out, you already had a direct competitor with Marvel Midnight Suns in the same genre of game coming out within the same 1 or 2 weeks. In addition to that, you had all the high-profile games of the year coming out within that same month, including Call of Duty and other games. When that happens, your game becomes a drop in a bucket, and the market eats itself. You can't have gamers afford every game. And you have to understand that a game like this that's not a mainstream Mario title, but a spin-off, needs to have air to breathe and have that word-of-mouth spread. There was literally no one talking about this game when it came out because everyone was abuzz with all the other bigger games. It was like a fart in the wind. It came out and it was just whoop, and no one even got to smell it. So, well, I guess that's good because you don't want to smell a fart. But you understand what I'm saying. No one had a time to even talk about it. And I said this at the time because people were asking me what I play. I was like, I'm too busy with the other bigger games. And maybe I would play it long term. You know, the reviews were great. People who actually took the time to review it said it was great, but the gamers didn't care. They were too busy with other bigger games. You know, you cannot release all of your games within 3 months. They have to stop with this bullshit. Earlier this year, for the months of February to May, we had a gaming drought. At most, we had one big game each month. So, you know, January it was Dead Space Remake. February it was Hogwarts Legacy. March it was Resident Evil 4 Remake, right? We keep going. Like, each month there was one freaking game. That was it. So why on earth are they not releasing the games then? Or let's be very honest about the summertime. The summertime is the most ignored gaming season. And the stupidity of game developers and game companies that say, oh, in the summer, no one buys games. And no one buys games because you don't release them in the summer. You can't sell what's not available for sale. You understand? Look at the times when games have been available for sale in the summer, like Ghost of Tsushima. The game sold like hotcakes. The game was a huge sales success because there was no competition. So people went out and bought it in droves, and it was an amazing success story. So just fucking release games in the dead times and people will buy them. We don't need all your games within 3 months. And this is the CEO of Ubisoft. He's going to blame it on we released 2 of the same game franchise on the same console. It was a 5-year difference. It wasn't like you released it within a year. This is not annual installments of Madden or fucking Assassin's Creed. You waited 5 years, dude. The fact that he's saying this in an interview means that he doesn't even understand his own company. He doesn't understand gaming culture. And he doesn't even understand anything about what he's involved in as the head of. And he's in charge. So every time that we see an Assassin's Creed come out, and the game sucks ass, and it's too similar to the last game, and it's completely off base of what people want, and you say, how in the holy hell could a game company be so out of touch with gamers to know what they would want to release this piece of shit? Take a look at Yves Guillemot. That's the answer. Because you got an old white guy who's a corporate shill who knows nothing about fucking gaming in charge of a gaming company. And he makes mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, but he remains in charge. Why? Why? Can someone give me an honest answer as to why he's in charge of the company? If you look at the track record of the last 10 years, you can find every year 2 to 3 awful stories about Ubisoft's failures and things they've done horrible. The culture of the company is toxic, and there's sexism and all kinds of horrible stuff. They're mistreating employees. They're doing the wrong things with their games. Why is he in charge? It's been over a decade. The fucker's still in charge. Then your company will never improve. You will continue to have Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope failures. Over and over, if you put a guy like him in charge, and then he doesn't understand, and he has scapegoating. Because it's scapegoating. Well, the scapegoat is we released it too early. No, the scapegoat is you're an idiot. You're in charge, and you don't even understand gaming culture, and you think people are going to buy your game amidst all the other releases within 3 months. You're a moron. Your game is not a high-profile Mario game. It's a middle-of-the-road niche game. You need to release it at a time when it will get legs, when people will talk about it. If you thought people were going to talk about it in the middle of fucking November when they were playing all the other ones, you're a complete idiot, and you shouldn't be in charge of your company. I mean, damn, you're stupid. But he can't help it, because these people are rich, and they apparently have no consequences for any of their mistakes. Isn't it funny? If you and I had a job, right, where we were in charge of all of this, and we made a huge mistake, and it cost millions upon millions of dollars, and a giant project that was, budgeted and developed and was supposed to be a hit was a flop. Do you think you'd just be like, oh, well, pat on the back, you still did a good job, keep on going? Be out the door. This guy is insulated from all of that. What a great life, right? Just keep, you know what they call it? Failing up. The more fuck-ups you make, the higher you get, the better you are, right? It's like, I guess, again, I've been saying this for years, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Every time that we talk about him, he's fucking something else up, yet he's still in charge of Ubisoft. It's remarkable. I mean, Jesus Christ. All right, let's continue. Street Fighter 6 is a huge flop on Xbox consoles. The game has failed to chart even in the top 50 games of this month. Okay? Now, there's many things we can say about this. When Street Fighter 5 was a PlayStation 5 and PC exclusive and didn't have an Xbox version, all the Xbox gamers screamed and yelled and were up in arms about that. and were very upset, correct? It's true, because if you remember, Street Fighter 4 was cross-platform from launch. I played Street Fighter 4 mostly on Xbox 360 during its life cycle. I played a little bit on PS3, but I played mostly on Xbox 360. And then when Street Fighter 5 was only PS4, people were pretty pissed. So Street Fighter 6 is not selling at all on Xbox. Apparently, it's really low sales, okay? Now, you might say, well, why is this? Should we be shocked? And the answer is no. Do you want to know why? Here's your answer. Here's your direct answer why. It's not rocket science, but I guess we have to go full screen for it to sink in with some people. Street Fighter 6 is not selling on Xbox because the last iteration of Street Fighter that lasted 7+ years was not on Xbox. Therefore, now Xbox is not known as a fighting game console because the biggest fighting game wasn't on it. Is this... Wow, what an amazing revelation, but some people think that this is like a big news or something. Dude, for you to sell a fighting game on a console, the console needs to be known to have fighting games on it. Xbox was not. It was always, because these games were exclusive on PlayStation, people bought PS4, and an entire generation of gamers who were into fighting games only play games on PS4 or PC. So why on earth would they now all of a sudden convert to Xbox, right? Now, here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing. If Street Fighter 6 continues to do well, and Street Fighter 6 continues to get legs, and more people who are more casualized fighting game players, not the hardcore community playing competitively, but more casualized players now realize this game is good, they may actually buy it on Xbox. But it's not going to happen at launch. Why would it? People who wanted to play fighting games have PlayStation. Why would they have an Xbox? It doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're so shocked it didn't sell. Why? Are you stupid? No one plays fighting games on Xbox. It's, take a look at the one fighting game that was exclusive to Xbox, Killer Instinct. It failed miserably. Why? Was it because it was a horrible game? No, because it was Xbox exclusive. And because of that, it killed the game. People don't want to play fighting games on Xbox because the biggest ones were not on it. So why in the holy hell are you surprised? It blows my mind. Whoa, shocking. So here's the thing. Again, this is going to take a while now. It will. It's going to take a while. It might take the entire length of Street Fighter 6 for people to realize that fighting games are good on Xbox again. And then maybe people will start caring. But for now, it's going to be slow going. You can't expect that people are going to jump from PlayStation to Xbox overnight just because this one's on Xbox. Why would they? Right? That's crazy. It just doesn't make sense to me that people were shocked. So, there you go. But I definitely feel like there will be more. And by the way, another thing that should be said, of course, Street Fighter is a worldwide phenomenon, but it has a very ingrained player base in Japan. Japanese don't care about Xbox. Xbox barely sells in Japan. So right there, that's a market where there's no competition. Anyone who's playing it in Japan is playing on PlayStation or on PC. That entire market will not be playing on Xbox. So there you go. But if you're talking about in the U.S., which I think this story is catering to, that's why. People, who's sitting around with their Xbox Series X? I can't wait to play all the hottest fighting games. What? They weren't even on it last console gen. So why would you think, no one has that mindset. There you go. I do think Jay Kuma has a point. Even though it's a sad fact, I will admit I do believe this is correct. Jay Kuma just said the following in chat. A lot of people play on Xbox just for Game Pass now. If a game's not on Game Pass, it's not a sell for them. I have to agree with you. As sad as that fact is, because listen, I feel that Game Pass still to this day is the best value in gaming. You have that, $15 a month subscription? You're going to get games every month under Game Pass. I mean, hell, Starfield's coming up, right? You're going to get big high-profile games every month. New releases, indie games. You get a great library of older games. It's a very good value. Oh, by the way, you're getting Xbox Live as well, so you can play all the games online with no issue. But at the same time, I do feel like a lot of people have an Xbox just for the Game Pass deal. I agree with you. So, yeah. So it's not a shocking story. A lot of people are acting like it is. I don't know why. Speaking of Xbox chief Phil Spencer says the Xbox business is twice the size of what it was during the Xbox 360 era. Millions of consoles are selling ahead of where we would have been compared to the Xbox 360. We've never had more Xbox players right now than we have right now. Yeah. That's the funny part, is when you think back to that console generation of Xbox 360 versus PS3. Xbox 360 was in the lead for a long time. It wasn't until the last maybe 2 years of that console generation that PS3 finally caught up and even eventually overtook Xbox. But for a long time there, Xbox was very dominant. And when you look at sales numbers today, and you're like, well, wait a minute. They were so dominant, but today it says that they've sold more Xboxes now than they did Xbox 360s. Yes. Why? Because you're talking, 15 years ago versus 2023. Times have changed. Gaming has grown absolutely exponentially in the last decade. Gaming has become massively mainstream. Why do you think we have mainstream gaming movies like Sonic the Hedgehog and the Super Mario Brothers now? Because gaming is mainstream, and it has become major mainstream pop culture, and everyone's doing it. Everyone has a major console. It used to be, all we have is the Wii in the house. Now everyone wants a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox. They want to have that more modern gaming console for more serious gaming experiences. It's not just about kiddie shit anymore. It's actually about everyone enjoying gaming at different levels. And every household is getting these consoles now. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny. Again, you would say, well, it's weird because I thought, back in the day, it was actually way more prominent with the Xbox 360. No, more people have Xboxes now. But by the way, Xbox is way behind. This console gen, Xbox is way behind PlayStation. PlayStation has like way oversold compared to Xbox. Okay. Arkham's Best is PS2 still the best-selling console. We saw the stats during one of the DSP versus the Internet episodes of the last couple of months, but I can't remember overall if it was the best-selling one or not. It slipped my mind. All right. Our final news story for today, but this is more of a rumor, all right? Square Enix staff have reportedly been asking Final Fantasy boss Yoshinori Kitase for a remake of Final Fantasy VI. Now that's exciting, because let me tell you guys something. Final Fantasy VI is amazing, all right? It really is a great game. And to see that game be made in a modern remake capacity like Final Fantasy VII got, I think would be absolutely awesome. Now, here's the thing. The one thing I would ask, if it's not going to be a straight-up remake, meaning it's not the same plot, they're going to change the plot, I want them to tell us. I want them to say, hey, guess what? This is not the same game. We're going to do the same route like we did with Final Fantasy VII, where it's essentially a reboot with a new plot line and a reset of the timeline where things can change. If that's the case, I'm okay with it. But I want to know that. I don't want to be told you're buying Final Fantasy VI again, and then you go to play it, and the whole fucking game's different, right? I don't want that. That's what happened with Final Fantasy VII Remake. You went into it with this expectation. As you play it, you start to realize it's not exactly the same as the original, and by the end, it's completely different. And you're like, what the shit just happened, right? So, I would absolutely love it. Now, here's the thing. If they do that, that's going to take a while. It's probably going to take 5 to 10 years to make. But I'll wait. Dude, Final Fantasy, I would be there. Now, I'm going to be honest here, all right? I would probably fanboy out over it. And I don't fanboy out about much. You guys know that. I really don't get crazy hype. I don't get super excited. I don't. It doesn't happen. But Final Fantasy VI is a game I absolutely, positively fucking love. There's 3 games I would fanboy out. Final Fantasy VI Remake, Final Fantasy IV Remake, and Chrono Trigger Remake. Those are the 3 games I would probably lose my shit if they make. Because I love those fucking games. They're my favorite RPGs of all time. And if they remake those in a modern capacity, I'm probably going to cosplay as Shadow. I'm going to wear a full ninja garb. I'm going to get a dog, a German Shepherd, and name it Interceptor. All right? I'm actually going to buy Magicite remake collectibles and put them in the background of my streams. Okay? Gee, what else can I do? I'm going... I'm seriously... No, I'll get tattoos all over my body of the Final Fantasy VI cast. How about that? All right? I probably won't do that. But, no, like, seriously. I love those games. And to see those made in a modern capacity and giving the love and attention that Final Fantasy VII was given, dude, I would be ecstatic. I would be so hyped. loving every moment of playing those games. Seriously, I know I would. Jasper, say hello. He's purring. Say hello to the audience. Say hello. Look up at the camera. Look at the camera. It's right there. Look, it's right there. He won't look. He's purring now. So anyway, yeah, like seriously, I would be super duper pumped and hyped. And like I said, I really don't. You guys know me. I'm the anti-hype guy. I don't get hyped for shit because I'm kind of a skeptic at this point. I've been there, done that. I've been doing this for 15 years. Most of the games these days, you get hyped for them and they be underwhelming. Like, ah, man. Yeah, I say Street Fighter 6, I got hyped somewhat for it, and I'm pleased that it's as good as it is. But for the most part, I just don't go there anymore, right? But for Final Fantasy 6 Remake, dude, I would be super pumped. That game is so good. I would love to see the characters with, with modern graphics and modern gameplay mechanics. I would love to explore that world. The world is amazing in Final Fantasy 6. Dude, oh my god. Can you imagine seeing the opera with actual people fucking singing and shit? The opera scenes? Oh, my hero. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh my god. I'll cry. I'll fucking cry. On stream like a sissy. I'll do it. I can't take it. It's too emotional for me. That's the serious. Or Chrono Trigger would do it to me too. I know it would. Chrono Trigger, that game is so amazing. I would lose my shit with that too. So, make it happen. Square Enix. Take this guy, the head of Final Fantasy, all right? Do what you need to do. Offer him the big bucks. Open a giant briefcase full of money. However much it takes, it doesn't matter. You just offer him everything, all right? Do what you need to do. Sacrifice to Beelzebub. Make the deal with the devil. Kidnap his family. Okay, don't do that. That was a joke. Don't do that. That's awful. Never do something like that. That's horrible. But you know what I'm saying? Within reason. Make this happen. Make this happen. I want to see this game made. I would be so ecstatic. Even if I'm 41 years old now. If I'm 50 years old and this game comes out, I don't care how old and crotchety I am. All right? I don't care if my balls are dangling down between my knees, clacking together like a peripheral motion machine. I don't care if I have a colostomy bag that I need to hold up when I'm playing the game. I'm playing this game. And I'm going to be very excited for it. You understand? Maybe I'm being a little exaggerated today. Anyway. Yes, Hobo X, I saw the insane statue of Terra riding a Magitech armor, and it cost $15,000, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's cost too much. It's nuts. No one should do that. Okay. All right, guys. So, all that being said, it is now time to get to shout-outs. That was our news stories for today. I hope they sounded good for you. On the YouTube side of things, we started off today with Crispy Papas, who re-upped their membership for 2 months and said, "Sup, man, keep up the great work. I love you. Thank you very much, Crispy Papas. I appreciate that." Codeman just re-upped his membership for a whopping 23 months and said, "Jury for Friday." Maybe. That's a maybe. I did play with Jury during the beta. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if I like the build that much, because really, it seems to me like she's a mid-range character. She tries to protect her moves with that ground fireball. She's got to be careful with sometimes the air dive kicks that kind of beats air to air. And she's got a few, like, do low, medium kick, dash, cancel, free combo kind of deal. But for the most part, she doesn't really impress me that much. There's a few tricks she has or whatever. I don't really know about Jury in this game. I don't know. Anyway, but I'll think about it. I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say I'll think about it. It's a consideration for Friday. Eternal Napalm re-upped his membership for 25 months. More than 2 years. Thank you, Eternal. Says, "I was skeptical, but Lies of P is good. It's a solid demo." I've heard mixed things about the demo. I've heard some people played the demo and hated it. Some people played the demo and loved it. Some people played the demo and were like, nah, it kind of feels like, Mortal Shell. How that kind of felt like a ripoff of, FromSoft games. Well, yeah, Lies of P kind of feels like a ripoff of FromSoft games. And, I don't know. What I'm probably going to do, because it comes out in September, correct? I'll probably play the demo for myself around the time it's going to come out and judge for myself. And if I play the demo and I don't like it, then I'm probably not getting it, What's crazy is Lies of P comes out in September and Lords of the Fallen comes out in October. You want to talk about lack of self-awareness and games cannibalizing each other. We just talked about it with Mario plus Rabbids. I mean, here you go. 2 of the same fucking genre of game coming out within a month of each other. Do you think maybe they're going to hurt each other's sales? Do you think maybe it's idiotic to release those games that close to each other? And also shout out to Blastoise91 for a 6-month re-upping of their membership. Now, guys, if you haven't noticed, we lost a lot of members. There was a bunch of gifted members last month. They've all expired, okay? So, please consider supporting the channel. If you like the content I've been putting out this month, particularly Street Fighter 6 has been huge, but as you know, I'm going to continue on with Zelda as well as Diablo. And, again, starting this Thursday, Final Fantasy 16 now hits the mix. Please consider supporting the channel, whether it be becoming a member yourself or a gifted membership. This is critical, support and income for me, quite frankly. And I think that basically it's kind of gone by the wayside in the last few weeks as I focused on Street Fighter. Well, it would be great to get some of that back, maybe with the premiere Final Fantasy 16 this Thursday. Please think about it. You get a lot of benefits. You know, the community would be very grateful to receive some gifted memberships, I'm sure. So please think about it, and thank you. Okay, ladies and gents, it's time for tips. So let's start with the first tip of the day, which was an overnight tip, $29.99. I'll give you 3 guesses. No, I won't. It was Game Tracker. You guys knew it was Game Tracker anyway. So thank you, Game Tracker, for the tip. Let's get you up on the leaderboard here. Let's see what Game Checker has to say today. By the way, thank you very much. Luthays just became a super supporter. So that is our first new membership in days. And I mean it. Like yesterday, we had no new memberships. And I think the day before as well. So thank you for that, Luthays. And thank you for the super supporter level, which is actually the higher level. It helps the channel a little more, too. Thank you for that. Okay. Game Trekker. Here's what he has to say. Excellent record with Marisa yesterday. Definitely encouraging to see you playing her. You want to hear about a tiny tragedy that happened? The one time that you actually tried using her level 1 super as a reversal, you ended up getting thrown out of it. I know. I remember. I thought, wake up level 1, let's see if it'll absorb their hits, and I'll get a counter hit move, and it just tossed me right out of it. I swear it's a good defensive option, despite that weakness. As I said previously, if an opponent hits her while you're loading the button to charge her level 1, the super's animation actually changes, and it deals big damage. It can be very effective if you're expecting a strike. As for other characters you could play today, I want to say you still never used Blanca's overhead Tord plus MP or air throw. Well, Tord plus MP is the headbutt, right? Now, in previous Street Fighter games, it wasn't an overhead. I believe in this one it is, okay? So that's a little different, and I got to get used to that. And I think that it's probably good dash canceling, but I remember distinctly trying it in his training mode, and it doesn't combo unless you dash cancel it. So if I do the dash cancel headbutt and it hits, then I can cancel it to a combo. But it's kind of tricky in that regard. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what happens today with that. He says his air throw. You're right. I haven't used his air throw at all. What I'm noticing, people who are using Blanca, they're using, as they jump around, it's always light kick for the cross up. That they're using every single time for a jump in or cross up. But what I'm noticing is for aerial moves, they're doing the punch. I don't know if it's a medium punch, but it's like a downward angled punch where he kind of goes like this with a big slap with his hand. And then what they're doing is jump back Blanca ball. That jump back Blanca ball actually is bait. If someone jumps after you and you do it, even if it trades, it does like double damage to whatever normal they're trying to do in the air. So jump back Blanca ball seems good. And most people don't expect it. So when it comes out, usually, if it doesn't hit, you're still safe to do another mix-up or follow-up when you land. So it's kind of a good strategy. I got to remember that if I'm close, we jump back, Blanca ball, and then try something else. I have to try to do something like that and remember. So, okay. Air throw, I haven't seen top players use air throw that much. I know he has it. I might want to try it, but I haven't seen it being used that much. Regarding the overhead in particular, well, I haven't actually seen anyone do this. I guarantee there's a way to combo after it if you land it when you're zooming in for a drive rush. Perhaps test it in training mode. Right, and that's exactly right. I think pretty much anything in this game can be comboed if you do dash cancels. But you have to do the dash cancel. Like, you literally cannot just do the move. You have to do a dash cancel to make anything comboable. So thank you, Game Checker. Great way to start the day with a big tip. Thank you for the advice. Thanks for tracking stats and everything. Everything's been great. Thank you, Game Tracker, for all your support with Street Fighter. Continuing on. Okay. Up next, I got a $5 tip from someone saying, will you play Crash Team Rumble? It's out today. Are you a Crash fan? Well, Crash Team Rumble is more of a party game or a co-op game online, correct? We saw something about it during one of those digital events a week or two ago. If it were the dead of summer and there was nothing going on, maybe I would check it out. We are in the midst of so many releases. There's no way I'm checking anything out right now. I'm going to focus in on what I'm playing, and then I'm going to do Final Fantasy Thursday, so the answer is no. Now, am I a Crash fan? Yes, I am. I like the classic Crash games. 1 through 3 are really good games. I even played Crash Team Racing. I thought it was all right, but I'm not going to go crazy and play this game because we're too busy with everything else, okay? All right, I received a $1 tip. Matt Booty, the head of Microsoft Studios, says Eves should be replaced at this point. He blames his employees for everything. He can't release games at the right time. Mario + Rabbids was a fantastic game that needed to be released at a time when there was no games. I mean, yeah. Seriously. It gets to the point where it's ridiculous how many mistakes this guy has made, but he's still in charge, and everyone still likes the guy for some reason. Like, what are you, fucking stupid? The guy's an idiot. He's fucked everything up for over a decade at this company, but we keep, like, acting like everything's fine, and he's making good choices. He's not. Okay? All right. I received a $1.23 tip. Someone says, greetings from Germany. As a famous internet celebrity in America, that is not the case. I'm not an internet celebrity whatsoever. Do you get recognized by fans in public? No. At one point, I was more so when I first started on YouTube. I would get recognized because I was going to conventions and things. So obviously there. When I first moved out here, probably within the first couple of years that I lived here, maybe 2-3 times a year. Pre-pandemic, I probably got noticed a couple times a year. Since the pandemic, I don't think I've been recognized at all. Not once. Because no one cares. No one cares about me. I'm just small potatoes, man. So anyway, his next question is, if so, do you take the time to do autographs and selfies? I have never once denied someone a handshake, a photograph, or an autograph. Not once. If someone wanted one, always happy. Whatever you want. If it means something to you, I'm willing to give you a few minutes of my time. You know, just please don't try to bogart my time. If it's my day off, my one day off a week, and you catch me at the mall, or you catch me, you know, wherever I may be, and you want to say hello and take a quick picture, that's fine. But please don't ask me to sit with you for 20 minutes. It's my day off. I'm trying to spend time with my wife, okay? There you go. Let's see here. I received a $2 tip. Will you be watching the new Nintendo Direct tomorrow? Tomorrow's my day off. I will not be doing anything gaming related tomorrow. If anything, I will try to catch up after the fact. You know, digitally online. Or just read some news articles about it. But no, I'm not going to be watching it. It's my day off. By the way, I have an annoying catch in my nail that's bothering me. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to snip it. I'll be right back. We'll continue with the show. Seriously, it's going to drive me nuts. Much better. Don't you absolutely hate that? It's one of my pet peeves. When you get a catch on one of your nails, and now it starts catching on things. Like, I hate this shit. It's going to bother me all day. So let me just cut it now. That way it won't give me, like, freaking OCD when I'm trying to play Street Fighter, right? Okay. I got another tip here. Have I ever thought about switching my internet provider to Cox Cable Internet? Some of the streamers I watch use it and love it. When I moved out here 9 years ago, I looked into all the different internet options, okay? At that point, the only internet provider that would provide speeds fast enough for live streaming was Comcast. I looked into everything else, and even though there are other competitors, some of the cell phone companies would not give the speeds that Comcast gave, and satellite internet, which at that point was kind of still in development, had horrible reception, okay? Now, today, Perhaps there are better options. I don't know. The problem is being that I live in a residential neighborhood. This is not like a business building. You know what I'm saying? My options are kind of limited. I don't think any internet company is going to be like, well, technically, you know, we could, but we have to run new lines to your house or whatever. Who's going to do that? Everyone around here in this neighborhood has Comcast. So I'm kind of like stuck unless I really look for other viable options. But I'll be honest, I don't think there is one. I could look into it. And this year, I am at a point where I'm supposed to be renegotiating my internet contracts. So maybe I will look into it. Maybe I'll look out for some other viable options. Maybe I'll make a few calls, see what other companies have to offer. In general, Comcast has been good to me. Let's be honest. I've lived here for 9 years, and for the majority of that time, I have not had major internet issues. This last weekend was the first time ever that I had an extended internet outage. There were some situations where the internet was finicky and dropping, and we got those resolved within a day. But it wasn't like, oh, completely out, right? So, you know, I'll look into it. But it's on my end. You have to worry about it, all right? I'll look into it. But overall, I think we've had some pretty good experiences with Comcast. You know, you have the one mistake, and yes, their customer support is really bad. But at the same time, at the very least, it came back within a day, right? Let's continue. A dollar tipper says, I'm excited for DSP's DSP. Ken Masters is a beautiful man. Have a great day. I'm glad you think that Ken is beautiful. You have to wonder if Ken was based off of Ken from like Barbie and Ken. Because if you look at the original design for Ken versus like Ken from Barbie, he kind of looks the same. He really does. Also, you know who he looks like? He-Man. You ever saw He-Man Prince Adam from the mid 80s? I wonder if they based him off of him because he looks almost exactly the same there too. Anyway, let's continue. I received a $5 tip from RGF Tyler. He says, greetings from Germany. Greetings to you, RGF Tyler. Hope that you're having a good day. Thanks for stopping by and supporting my stream. I appreciate that very much. This is excellent because we're almost at $50 and we haven't even started with the stream yet. And again, guys, not that I will be massively talking about this during the stream, because here's the thing. When I'm playing Street Fighter, I'm focused on the game, correct? I do my best to shout out contributions between the matches and whatever, the sets. And because of that, I feel like there's not major focus on, oh, really, we could use some help with memberships today, you know, use some super chats. It's not, you know, it's kind of an afterthought. I'll be playing for like 2 hours and realize, wow, the stream's actually, you know, at this level or whatever. Time to mention it or something. But please, if you've enjoyed this coverage, please support my streams. You know, it'd be great to have a strong ending of the week today, my final consecutive streaming day of already a short streaming week, and I did lose out on a day of streaming because my internet was out. So it'd be great to have a strong showing this final day. Okay? Still DeCubo says for Super 2 Juggle, after the launcher, do EX up ball, 2 hits. Then input up plus punch on the second hit. After that, you can just mash up plus punch for 3 extra ball hits. So the problem I'm having is I'm not doing meter burn ball. I'm doing standard up ball, and it's only gets you 1 more hit. That's my problem. Gotcha. You're okay. So do the cross up, right? Into the... Because there's various things you can do with the cross up, but if I get those 2 hits into the EX electricity, cancel into level 2 super, meter burn up ball, and then up plus punch, and then punch, 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 right? Just keep pressing up plus punch. Got it. All right, thank you. I'm going to try to do that today, because that's one of the key things I've been missing. For sure, is that combo. Let's see here. That's the corner combo you said, Stealthy Kupo? Okay. Jade, what's going on? He says, Blanca time indeed. I'm looking forward to Blanca today. I hope I do really well. I think that we can really rank up today. Yes, Carlos Nishikin is one of the people I was watching play Blanca last night. Indeed. He was one of the people I definitely watched. Yes. So, that's what I was trying to learn from last night. Casanova says, Square Enix made a real sword Clive has in Final Fantasy 16. It'll be available to view in person at the Tower of London. Wow. It's a little weird, but okay. Airhead said, I'm excited for the fun stuff. Nishikin is the god of all Blancas. Well, he had good gameplay, that's for sure. Like I said, I learned Basically, what I was always doing is when I did a combo, I would crossover with a light kick, and I would do low light, low medium, or low light, low jab into EX electricity. Well, what he does, he does crossover light, standing medium kick. This becomes a mix-up select, basically, because after the medium kick hits, now you can do a low medium and dash cancel into a giant combo with standing roundhouse, standing fierce, crouch, juggle into up ball. If it doesn't hit, you have a million options. You can walk up throw. You can hop and now do a second mix-up. You can actually just wait and then counter with like a Blanca ball. Like, there's a lot of different options that you can do after cross-up standing medium kick. So I'm going to try to implement some of those today. Instead of just doing the same light electricity, I'm going to actually try to do mix-ups after a cross-up. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Canadian Kirk says, I should get affordable Don Julio Blanco for your barbecue event. Isn't Don Julio tequila? I just did tequila, though. Like, I just did that for the Fightin' Feast. I want to do a different kind of liquor. So we've done gin, and we've done tequila. That's why I was kind of thinking, like, whiskey or something, you know? Will I ever play as Ken? I might return. Like I said, Friday, I am absolutely using a new character. It'll either be Honda, who I only used once, or it'll be JP, maybe, who I only used once, or it'll be like a brand new character I didn't use at all. That's what I'm doing Friday. But that's what we have to determine who it's going to be. Okay? Rum, see, you know, rum, I'll be honest, rum is good for mixed drinks. Rum, I don't want to take shots of rum. You know, rum is just not that good for a shot. I don't feel like it has enough good flavor or whatever. So, I think whiskey is actually tastes really good, you know? Yeah, Jex Gaming, the next Call of Duty is Modern Warfare 3. I don't really give a shit. Who does at this point? They've lost their way so badly with fucking Call of Duty at this point. Like, who wants to play another Modern Warfare? And in a row, 2 and 3? What the fuck is their problem? Like, they're missing the script here. You know what I mean? Play Cammy, you don't have to mash jab to win. Well, you do. If you mash jab, you win. But Cammy is so easy. Again, Cammy, Jury, Ken, they all just fish for one hit and then dash cancel into a giant combo. It's ridiculous. Sake, you know, I've never really had sake that much, only when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, I tried it once, I hated it. But then I've had sake as like an ingredient in various dishes. Like my wife makes a Japanese style beef bowl and she uses sake in it as a cooking ingredient. I don't know how it would be by itself though. All right. Jade says, how about Kim? Kim, you know, Kimberly's interesting. She's a mix-up character. But she doesn't... I feel like Kimberly has to remain offensive. If she gets to a defensive position, I think she's completely screwed. I don't think she has many good options. She has to constantly be keeping you on your toes with her teleports and her dashes and her mix-ups. I don't know. I don't know if I like the build. Anyway. I received an $8 tip from Radical Jaws. He has an 8-ball question for us. Let's play the 8-ball animation. Let's roll out the 8-ball here. Dust it off. All right? Radical Jaws asks the following question to the Magic 8-ball. Do you think that the gunner glasses will be smeared when I put them on after this? Love your content. Hope the support helps. It does. Thank you, Radical Jaws. Will the gunner glasses have a smear? Will there be smearing on the glasses? Let's find out. A schmutz. A smearing schmutz. It says... Can't read it. I seriously can't read it. There's too many air bubbles. I seriously can't read it. There's too many air bubbles on the die. I can't read it. Outlook good. Outlook is good. That there will be smearing schmutzes. Yeah, it's a problem. The 8-ball, I guess as the 8-ball gets older, the air bubbles keep formulating now on the stupid die, so when they spin, I can't read it. The whole thing's all fucking dotted up. I can't read it at all. Alright, well, thank you to Radical Jaws. With that, indeed, we have hit our $50 tips goal, which means it is Gunner Glasses time to start. Let's see if there's a schmutz. A schmutz. Willow, I have no idea what Boxcar Racer is, so no, I've never heard music from it. No, I tried Jamie in the beta, And I learned very basic stuff with Jamie, but I didn't use him in this yet. There are definitely schmutzes and schmears on it. Ew. Ew. No, I've not talked about Titanic news and a submarine. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Green Goblin. Titanic news and the submarine. Just think about this. News about the Titanic. The Titanic sunk quite a while ago. So what kind of news could there possibly be about the Titanic right now? Are ghosts coming out of it? A little weird. People might die. I have news for you. A lot of people already died involving the Titanic. I don't know if you heard about this story before. There's actually a movie about it. There's probably like 27 movies about it. There's a submarine with billionaires inside. It got stuck. No one can find it. Wow. Well, Well then. This is why when people ask me things like, will you go skydiving? I say, absolutely, positively fucking no. Absolutely not. Why would I take a risk like that? What's the point? Is my life so insulated from risk and stress that I need to create artificial stress for myself? Maybe for the rich people it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe these billionaires are so rich that they really have nothing going on in life that challenges them or is interesting. So to them, they have to go underwater in a submarine to go see the Titanic, and now it sounds like disaster has happened, right? But for me, my answer, my life is challenging enough. I got enough shit going on between all the stuff you know publicly, stuff behind the scenes privately, all this shit happening. I don't need any more challenges or stress. I have more than my share and quota of stress, trust me. So I don't really need that. So, I'm about to sneeze. Stupid nose. Would I ever go scuba diving? No. No. Absolutely not. Skydiving is fun and safe? No. It is not. Stop that right now. Have I ever been in the ocean? Yes, I have been in the ocean. What kind of sports car activity would I like to do? None. I want to be as far away from a sports car as possible. Seriously. Would I jump from a diving board? No. Well, actually, have I? Did I? I don't think I ever did. No, I don't think I ever jumped off a diving board. I never had opportunity to. Would I go on a nice forest hike? No. There's ticks out there. Stay the fuck away from that. And there's bears and shit. Fuck that. Rabid deer. Come and gore your ass. Nah. None of that. Would I wrestle a bear? No. How about ziplining? No. No. Absolutely not. Would I touch grass? I've touched grass many times in my life, actually. Yes. You gotta be careful what you touch. What about a sea lion? Sea lions are cool. They probably bite your arm right off, but they're pretty cool. Okay. I received an $8 tip from the homie Sparky. He says, ask the 8-ball if I will ever receive a full $3,000 tip from a supporter. Holy shit. I received, I think the highest tip I ever got, I'm trying to think. This was many years ago at this point. The biggest tip I ever got in one go, I want to say, was just over $2,000. It was like $2,100 or something like that. Crazy. And yes, that all wasn't, it was one ginormous tip that I got. But I'm pretty sure that's the record. So you want me to ask the 8-ball, will I ever receive a $3,000 tip in one go? My guess is going to be no. I don't think I will ever receive that. But let's see what this says. It is certain. I'm not even shitting you. That's what it says. It is certain. And it had no air bubbles on it. I could read it perfectly. So the 8-Ball wanted me to know 100% I'm receiving a $3,000 tip. There you go. I personally, I don't think it's going to happen. But that's what it said. Would I ever sleep in a graveyard at night? No. Did I ever try to eat dirt or worms as a kid? No. Is Jinx still around? I haven't seen him. So about a week ago, probably. Radical Jaws says, would you unicycle over a tightrope with a shark pull under it? Do you really think I could do that? Come on now. How is Jasper? He's good. He's on the floor. He's stretched out. He's sleeping. And he's very cute. Have I mowed the lawn? Yes, many, many times I've mowed my parents' lawn when I was a kid and a teenager. I did it all the time, actually, as a chore. Did I ever ride on a horse? No, I did not. Fan of Lovecraft says, I found my old Darkside Phil Stein. I'll bring it out for the 15th anniversary. Me too. I have my old Stein. So we're going to do a 15th anniversary celebration in early September, okay? It's going to feature a lot of stuff. There's going to be a retrospective event. I'm going to play some throwback games from the past. There's definitely going to be some kind of a marathon. And there's going to be me doing tier makers of my previously highest ranked games for Game of the Year. I'll bring back retro things like that, like the Stein and stuff from the past. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an exciting thing. And yes, someone said food. Yes. And I'll maybe if possible, maybe I'll even try to do some retro foods. How about I try to do a second DSP Tries-It on some of the things that I could still get today from classic DSP Tries-Its. We could do that. Right? We'll see what happens. See, I don't think they have the KFC Double Down anymore. We'd have to see what they still have. I'm pretty sure they still have that disgusting buttery Jack burger. I think they still sell it. I'm pretty sure they don't do the Double Down. It's been gone for a long time. They're not going to have the Grimace meal by September, guys. Come on. They're not going to have that anymore. Radical Jaws, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what Baton Kaitos is. Never heard of it. They brought back the Double Down. Yeah, but did they still have it? When they bring that stuff back, they only have it for a limited time. They don't have it on the menu permanently. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, you can imagine how bad it must be. It's probably just as bad as it was the first time, right? Okay. Baton Kaitos was a JRPG? Oh, I never heard of it. What is the Double Down? You really want to know? Here's what they did. They took 2 fried chicken breasts, battered and fried. They're huge. Between the 2 chicken breasts, they put bacon, cheese, and sauce, and they crushed them together as if you're eating a sandwich. That's the KFC Double Down. There's no bread. It's just 2 chicken breasts, greasy and disgusting, with all this shit dripping all over, and you eat it like that. It's absolutely fucking nasty. And it was pretty bad. When I ate it, I was like, oh my God. No, it's boneless chicken breasts. Did I ever work night shift during my retail days? Of course. I used to close all the time. Absolutely. 672, you're right. He says, I'm considering myself blessed. My girl cooks for me. I don't eat stuff like that. Exactly. I mean, man, it's incomparable having someone who is a skilled cook and cooks for you and loves you and makes you good meals. Seriously. It's amazing. El Grey Zorro, you were not paying attention. I said the top games I would want remade is Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, and Chrono Trigger. You must listen, because I mentioned this. Yes, I've had iced coffee before, and it's pretty good. Depends on the kind of coffee and whatever, but yes, it can be pretty good and refreshing. All right. guys, I think it is time to end the show. I want to say thank you for the support I've already received. And it is time to jump into a Blanca festival. The festival of Beastie Boy Blanca. I'm excited to see how we do today, all right? What I would like to say is thank you all for a great streaming week. And I do want to, again, apologize for the stress that I had over the weekend with no internet. I want to thank you for continuously supporting my coverage of Street Fighter 6 as well as Zelda and Diablo. I want to thank you for being patient because we will have a new game on Thursday in Final Fantasy 16. That should be exciting. And I am pumped to jump into more content for all of you. Thank you very much for a great show. See you all when I get back on Thursday. Peace out. See you then, everybody.